Hello my dear Scorpio, this is your love and spirituality reading for the time between April 16 and April 30, 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. I have done my readings in the order of most viewed up till now, but next time I will do the readings in the order of most liked, so don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. I have put astrological information for the month of April in a video of its own that you can check out in my playlist Q&A. You can also find it at my webpage www.queenofcupstarot.se, where you can find and buy all the decks I'm using in this video. There is a subscription service up on my webpage that you can take part of if you want to learn more about spiritual growth, yoga and tarot. For this reading, I used Osho Zen Tarot by Deva Padma, and I will have been using not this particular deck, but other the Swedish version of this deck since early 2000. So I am used to doing reversals, so I will do this also for you. Okay. So when I open your deck here, Scorpio, I see 8 of Swords, Guilt in reversed, and 10 of Swords in the upright position. So that's actually, it's good news, okay. 8 of Swords, the Guilt card, it's about wanting to be, wanting to fit in, wanting to people to love you, and making like a real effort to make people love you, but ending up kind of tainting yourself and making yourself not recognizable anymore. To become yourself again, to find yourself again, you need to strip away everything that's not you, everything that has been imposed on you from other people. So with the 8 of Swords in the reverse, it's kind of you are freeing yourself from this prison, and we can also see it in the 10 of Swords card. So the 10 of Swords here is when you are living happily in society, kind of in the Matrix before you took that pill, and then you took that pill and you realized that that this wasn't you. You weren't really happy, or you felt like something were lost or whatever. With the lion card, lion part of this card here, it's telling you are starting to get like a little bit, sometimes a little bit pissed to be honest, and kind of doing a little bit of revolution, starting to say no to what you don't want and yes to what you do want. And that's probably going to make your life a little bit more adventurous than it was when you were a camel. But it's also going to be a sorting process where you might not have the same friends or same lover anymore, not living in the same neighborhood, maybe don't even work on the same place. So that's the revolution. So actually aggression is a little bit above depression when it comes to a frequency vibration. So you have heightened your frequency by becoming angry, maybe 10 or 50 years too late, okay? And after that, you go into this childlike state when you kind of start to accept whatever is. You know that you don't have control over others, but at least you have kind of control over your own life. Not everything that happens, but you have restored inner peace in your inner space and come back to who you were when you first came to this planet, okay? But it's of course going through like a lot of pain during this process, because there was a reason to why you conditioned yourself. You wanted to be loved. Now you are asked to love yourself instead, and then see what happens. So I call the divine with love and light, and here we see guidance in the reverse, the 3 of Pentacles card with the 10 of Swords in the reverse. So it's in some part you are kind of not following your inner guidance, or okay, what I'm feeling here is that you are doing revolution because you feel that something is off, but you're kind of doing revolution against everything, okay? Also the people that might want to help you, okay? The divine wants to help you, your partner might want to help you, maybe even your mom wants to help you. Even that can be difficult sometimes when you are in this revolutionary phase. But anyway, people wants to help you, or you need to see that you are not doing unnecessary revolution against people that actually wants to be friends with you or try to work something out with you. It might also be that you are trying to work something out with someone else and they just don't want to, okay? They are not up for it. In a love relationship, for example, we might have a partner that's not doing their fair share of working on the relationship, showing you that they care. And if that's the case, the Ten of Swords in the reverse might talk about you falling into a little bit of a victim mood and feeling like it's hopeless no matter what you do. But it's not hopeless. It's just a matter of sacrifice. Sometimes we can't ever like really change another person. What we can do is change ourselves, and we will change our whole like what we are mirroring out in the world. So another person's problematic personality type might not affect us anymore because we are not seeing it, we are not aware of it anymore. This person is not showing this personality trait towards us anymore because we have changed and we are not a reflection for that personality trait anymore. But what we might need to do is to sacrifice the whole relationship. Maybe not forever, and maybe not at all, but this might be what you are most scared of. So this is what's keeping you trapped, because it's like you are in an impossible position. You can't make the other person happy, and they can't make you happy. So no one is happy. It's kind of this. And it might be polarities here, like I said from the beginning, that either you are doing maybe revolution towards the people that actually wants to help you, like this classical scene. Look back in time a little bit, like some decades, and this husband coming home from work, having had been tortured by the boss all day, and then screaming at his wife and the children to be quiet and to not make a mess, and he needs to rest and all this. So then you are doing revolution in the wrong place, like towards the people that actually love you, not towards the boss that actually need maybe to hear this, and maybe you need to change job as well. So that's what I'm meaning with that. And the other part is you might be the victim of a person doing like this, totally unfair to you, screaming at you when they really are pissed at something else. Okay, so yes, I call the 6 elements earth, wind, the Fool in the reversed and guidance in the reversed, to give us a clear view reading for my dear Scorpio viewers. And also maturity here, and the guidance maturities in reverse is the Ace of Coins. So what we saw here with the Fool in the reverse and the guidance in the reverse, it's like you're throwing yourself off the wrong cliff maybe, or someone else is doing, because you just want to do revolution. It doesn't care how you do it or towards whom. Okay, receptivity and the love. So it might be that some of you are a little bit over dramatic in a relationship, like this husband I just told you about, and that makes it hard for you to integrate with this other person. Also, if you are, as I said, a victim to this situation where a person just pukes all over you with their emotional distress because they can't really do this in another environment. For example, the environment at work isn't that loving. The husband might feel like, I need this work to pay for my family, and so I need to put up with this person's crap. But really, he doesn't put up with this person's crap. It just lands in the lap of his wife and children. And what we are seeing here is when we are with people we love, we might show our worst sides, okay, with the people we really admire. It's we go back to some decades again to when we all went to school, and we might have been in love with someone, and we didn't tell that to that person, but rather teased them or make them like joked about them or something. Pulling girls' hair was a classic when I went to school. So it's like misaimed love. I trust you, so therefore I yell at you because I can't yell at the person that I really need to yell on. I feel hysterical, and it's not because of you, but I will be hysterical with you because I can't be hysterical in the situation where I need to be hysterical, because there's something else demanded of me, and I'm trying to temper myself but with you I can't, because I love you and I trust you, and you can see my worst sides and still love me. But even this can become too much if we like just puke our emotions over another person, and that might kill the relationship with the only one that was really there for us. So we might want to shift this, so we are becoming more difficult towards the people that actually deserve it, and more nice towards the people that deserves this. So choosing your battles. And as I said, if you are dealing with a person like this, that's like this, you need to tell them again and again, like, you are crossed with me and I'm just trying to help you. Oh, transformation, it's the death in the reverse. So it's kind of saying maybe you need to be a little bit more hard ass with this person, and put some boundaries, some real boundaries, like to show them you really mean business, because maybe that's the only way for them to change. Because sometimes when we are being taken for granted by, for example, our boss or our parents or our lover, we might take it out on our best friends. Our lover, maybe if it's the boss, our best friend is if it's the lover, and we just take them for granted in the same way that we are being taken for granted. So it might be really hard for a person to come out of this. And here we have nothingness jumping. So it's the Hierophant card. It's connected to a lot of different layers with things. It's talking about this nothingness cards goes really deep. It's talking about the stages kind of when we are not in existence. When you are in dreamless sleep and your awareness is nowhere to be found, you wake up and you don't know where you have been. And it's kind of how I imagine the world must have been before the Big Bang. Nothing, okay? We were unconscious, or we were not at all. There was nothing. It's very hard to describe nothing. But the nothingness is also connected to, it's different layers here. It's God or goddess that once were not manifested, and it's going into manifestation, and like the big central sun, the small stars that shooted away from this Big Bang, and being souls in different solar system. Our soul, our sun in our solar system, your own soul that you have above your head. So it's talking about, yes, the light went out there. Even if it's full of, it's like halfly burnt. Interesting. So that's nothingness, okay, when something burns out and it's not there anymore. But this different layers, it comes back to you being a sparkle of God, and all the people that you meet are a sparkle of the same essence, okay? Everyone is the same. So what you're doing towards the next one, you are doing to yourself, and what they are doing to you, they are also doing to themselves. So you might actually be helping people while putting up like real boundaries and say, well, now this, I can't take this, I won't take that, I'm the only one really supporting you here, and I'm taking all the crap. So it's of course more deeper things to this. We had death also. So for some of you, you might have to put strong boundaries towards other and say that give ultimatums, or people will give ultimatums to you out of nowhere. You might think because everything went so well, but it went well for you, maybe not for the other person. And it's the same if it's in the other direction. Yes, consciousness. Yes, we need to maybe have our fingers snapped a little bit, so we will wake up. Okay, wake up, you need to make money. Oh, that's the song. Okay. Consciousness, conscious awareness. When there was nothing, okay, it was just nothing. I can't imagine even nothing, but I imagine it, for me, my limited human perception, it was vastness, black vastness, nothing really. Okay, and then something came there, like when you wake up in the morning and from a dreamless sleep, and you really don't know where you were during this time, and you just wake up. The consciousness, that's the only thing we can know is real, and this consciousness is your best tool. for making your life into a prosperous one, by becoming very conscious about your own sense perceptions, what you see, what you hear, what you can smell, what you can touch, what you feel inside of you. All this, your consciousness is the I, and all this that you can perceive is the am. So you're not the am, you're not your feelings, you're not what you see, you're not what you hear, sense, smell, whatever. You're nothing of this. You are your consciousness. That's the only thing. And that's your tool. So if you can start to become aware of why, like, something rises with you in you, you feel upset and you start to scream. Or someone is getting upset with you and start to scream. Stay with your inside in this situation. Don't react immediately. Don't shout out immediately. Just feel on this feeling. Okay, so this person is screaming here. Maybe it's coming spit in your direction, and you just, okay, so what's happening here? So I see that you are really upset. Actually, I feel upset when you're screaming at me like this. It's coming spit in my face as well. So start to take some kind of find a little bit rock bottom in yourself. Anchor your consciousness in your feelings inside, and enter this situation from this consciousness, because this is going to make the whole difference. Because if this you wanting to scream, you will feel, okay, I'm really upset now. I want to scream at my children. So why is that? Okay, I'm feeling really tired. I'm very burdened from work. Okay, so I will tell people I feel really... I feel like I have a short temper right now. I need some peace and quiet to come in balance with myself. Can I please have a half an hour for myself, or we can just sit here enjoying our meal and talking about everyday things. Try to not have a high pitched voice or whatever. It's not their fault that you are exhausted, but they might heed you because they love you, instead of screaming at them. Okay. So, and if this other person is screaming, you can say, well, I really don't think that I deserve this, and this was strike one for today. So I've been watching the 70s show. Okay, so strike one. Okay, so it's really, yes, over dramatic in a love relationship, creating chaos for yourself. So it's like you're giving too much responsibility to the people around you for your emotions. And you need to take responsibility for themselves if you want to keep your relationships. It's not like you have been a bad person, or not like this other person has been bad either. It's just that this is going to help you. Okay. And some of you might be dealing with another water sign as well, since the Queen of Cups comes so many times. But it's probably you and your emotions that you think that they are a problem. They are not. They are telling you something, and they want to make a positive change. But you can't do that if you're not aware of what's the problem. You think that something else is the problem, then what's really is the problem. So 18 minutes, that's a new record for shuffling the cards. So I will just tune in here for a few seconds. Okay, so my dear Scorpio, this is your future there, and this is your now there, and this is the past. So in the past we have Two of Wands, so possibilities. It's like your life has been a little bit on a halt, on a pause, like a red light, because you needed to have this level of consciousness so you can make a different decision, so you can see your true possibilities instead of going on with the same old, maybe same old projections or same old something else. So Two of Wands is like holding your door shut. It's this moment what I told you about. Just stay, watch, see what's really happening, talking with a calm voice. Sometimes you might encounter people that's really like upset, and they are not really upset with you, so it doesn't have so much to do with you. It's their view on the world that's a little bit sad, or upsetting. And we can notice this sometimes when a person screams towards you and maybe say like, I know that this is how you think, or this is how you feel, or this is what you did, and you are not really recognizing yourself. And then you can know that this is like something that's very personal for this person, and you shouldn't be upset by their behavior. You shouldn't take it personal, but you could have a lot of compassion for this person and say, okay, I see you have a really shitty day, so what's really going on here? And they might scream at you even more. Maybe it's blowing also your hair at this moment. Okay, it's still not personal. Okay, if they start to hit you, that's personal. But as long as they are doing this, it's projections. So they are not there together with you. They are there together with their parent that died 20 years ago. And they are not screaming at you. They are screaming at something else. It's very hard, these situations, because you can't really snap another person out of this mist. The only one you can snap out is yourself. By grounding yourself and seeing, okay, what's really going on, what's happening here, is this true, this what this person is saying, because it might be true, and you can say yes, okay, yes, I have been a little bit disconnected, maybe I made you feel made you feel unloved. I'm sorry if that is the case. You need to check out what this person really wants. It's usually something very simple that will make them stop screaming. And the best way to figure this out is by being very conscious. And it can be the same thing, like to a place of work, people can have rules that is kind of a little bit stupid and no one really follows them. But some people can be very hopped up on these rules. And you don't have to follow really anyone else's rules, as long as you don't put stupid things in their way. If it's a place of work, for example, if you want to keep your job, you might need to follow the rules. And it might not be that hard to follow the rules. It might be really hard to remember to follow the rules, because these rules are someone else's rules. It's not your rules. But you don't really have to be upset about them or rebel against them. You can kind of don't mind them being there and just follow them. If it doesn't like touch your soul in some way. But really, if it does, maybe you are having the projection. If someone is saying, well, there's a no smoke sign here and you want to smoke anyway, well, you are not doing a revolution towards the people that's working there, that's inhaling the smoke in their lungs. You're doing a revolution against, again, your parents. And you might have been like grown up for 40 years and still this revolution. So then the rules isn't the problem, but something inside of you is the problem. So again, take a little bit moment out, like a red light. Wait, see what's going on. What's really going on? Why are you really upset about this? Why you really want to break this rule? Why you really want to scream at this person? Or why are they really screaming at you? So I remember the light again. So I'll pause a little bit and go and light another one. So, Two of Wands, and here we have the now. So the past is March, first half of April, and this is the second part of April, okay? And it's the breakthrough. It's 11 Justice in reversed. 11, 1 + 1 is 2. So these two cards are connected. It's like you are waiting for a breakthrough, or you're waiting to understand something. You need to roam over here to be able to go through this doorway. And breakthrough is, as I said, it's justice, and it's in the reversed. So it's kind of saying that there's an imbalance or injustice in this situation, and the best way for you to first see it, become aware of it, is becoming aware of your own emotions. They're usually telling you that you feel unjustly treated, so that can be a good start if you don't even know that's a problem. And then you will not take it out on the person that maybe are unjust towards you, but maybe towards someone else that you are unjust to, when the imbalance goes on like this. So it's kind of karma. and this is your future, so it's going into May. And here we have ordinariness. So this is a very beautiful card. It's about the beautiful willingness we all have inside of us to try to make things better by our own effort, not being so lazy, but actually putting in our own beautiful willingness to fix things and making it harmonious and beautiful for everyone, including ourselves. And it's an 8, so again, it's talking about karma, these things that, like the different problems or challenges that you have in your life that kind of repeats and repeats and repeats, and you can find polish for every lap and getting a little bit better on it. It's usually the same problem throughout your whole life, the basic problem, like not feeling loved, and different dramas coming out of this, or feeling unworthy, and different dramas coming out of this, or yeah, it can go on. But here it's like you're finding a little bit the essence inside of yourself. What's really making you at peace with yourself might be, you know, doing whatever you can to fix the problem, and not more than that, because you can't fix another person's problem if they have a problem with you or beef with you, and you can only do the best you can to solve this, but you can only do the half. Okay, the other person needs to do the other half. So it's beautiful. It's showing like beautiful willingness. It's very connected with this 3 Pentacles card that we saw, and here you actually have the willingness. Before you weren't maybe able to follow the divine direction because you couldn't listen to your own inside, and now you're stable enough to be able to listen and do like some real prosperous work, both on yourself and on your relationships and on your creative work, the thing you do to make a living. Okay, so, and here we have the past. So we have existence, and it's in the reversed. So it's the Magician, and again, it's about not being fully conscious, not being really aware of what it is that you create in your life. And if you have this, probably you are mirroring people on the outside being very unconscious too. So it's about finding out what you are doing to yourself when, for example, when you don't believe in yourself, don't trust yourself, don't listen to yourself, go against your own emotions, things like this. So that's why you need this red light to start to put things right inside of you. Every time, instead of stressing out and, oh, I'm so stupid, why on earth did I agree to this, and so you are just okay, so what do I feel right now? I feel a lot of frustration. I'm not happy with the choice I made. Okay, so you save that for another day, because the more conscious you become, the more conscious you will be also in the split second when you really need it. For example, to not automatically say yes because you're conditioned to say yes, but be as aware so you can say, no, I don't want to. Or yes, I really want to go with you on this, instead of reactive, like your pattern of saying no to everything because kind of being a little bit revolutionary. No, I don't want to, I'm so cool. Okay, so you just need to wake up here. You just need to become, it's ongoing work. It's something you don't need to stress about. You just need to, more and more situation, become more and more aware. Okay, what really happened there? Usually we can notice that we are unaware by, for example, replaying a thing in our head over and over. That's a wake-up call. When you are looking back at the situation where you went into your boss office and asked for a raise, and they said no, and you just accepted, and you afterwards you think, I should have said this, I should have said that, and it's actually your consciousness coming to you and saying what you really should have said, but you weren't awake enough because you were so conditioned. You have, it's like a tape recorder that's going on every time you're doing something, being with an authority, for example, or someone asks you nicely something, so you just become nice yourself without really thinking about the consequences. And here it's just a gap between being awake and being asleep. So sometimes you fall asleep and you just hit the tape recorder and the old projection movie goes out, and you're doing some drama theater that you have done for your whole life, and afterwards you wake up and you are like, why did I agree to that? I must be crazy, I must be stupid. So first thing, notice when you call yourself names. That can be a good thing. Just notice. You don't have to do anything about it. When you see it, you know that this is not what you want to create, because everything you say, I'm stupid, every time you say I'm stupid, you're kind of creating this in your life. I have a real good example of a person that I worked with that was very sensitive for being clumsy. And sometimes he was very teasing towards other people, saying that they were clumsy. And I knew that this was his trigger. So when he was mocking like a young girl that was working over the summer with us, I was starting to teasing him for being clumsy. And I really regret that I did this, because this person started to fall and pour liquid, like not good liquid, over themselves and spray their ankle, and I can move on. So I had to start to say, well, you are so secure with things, you're really doing things, you're so darn skilled, like these things that you do, it's getting like perfect. I don't know how you do it. And he stopped having these accidents. But why I knew this was because we kind of grew up together, because he's my cousin also. He was working with me, and this was a really wake-up call for me too. I have just noticed that he had this kind of trigger, and I started to notice also these triggers in myself. So you shouldn't really tell yourself that you are clumsy, stupid, whatever. It can really manifest in the outside life. So just start to become aware, more aware of when you said and done things that you really didn't want to. You didn't want to see the effect in your life. Telling yourself that you're clumsy and then falling everywhere, or saying yes or no to something that you really didn't want to. Okay, and here we have patience. So it might be that there's some kind of rush inside of you as well. So you don't have the time to be conscious. You are too much in the future to be conscious. So you need to ground yourself, this stillness inside of you, becoming more calm, not stressing about, not getting so anxious in every situation, and wanting, like having get it now ideas. I want this to solve now. It won't. It takes certain kind of a momentum. Existence, it's the magician. So it's about how you create your life with your own thoughts and with your words. So if you start to become more conscious, you will eventually start to change also what's happening in what will be manifested in your life. So patience. You need to start to have patience also with people not being that aware in your outside life. You need to become more patience with them, just and have a little bit more love. Okay, here we have intensity. It's the Knight of Wands, and it's like an energy coming from the east going to the west. So it's coming from a situation, darkness kind of, but darkness is holding like a key to everything. It's like the wisdom is there from this nothingness, and it's like sharing this what you know with someone else, and it's very intense. This so here we crash. It's some yes, this is you trying to maybe to be aware in a certain situation, and this other person just wants to have the same old with you, and it's actually a very spiritual thing that's happening here, because this person came here to kind of rub off on you, so you would be upset and start to do this work. But when you start to do this work, you actually start to rub off on this person, making them more and more upset. Because if a person is used to getting their will through by becoming very intense and maybe a little bit aggressive, aggressive and screaming at you, hiding their voice. You see that they are getting almost nosebleed, and you want to do something about it. And here you are kind of just cool, going inwardly towards yourself and just checking out what's going on here, what's really going on in this situation. And this person doesn't get the same reaction that they have gotten before. So this is where your teaching has kind of come to its full bloom, because you learned what you were supposed to learn about this from this situation where you were triggered again and again and again and again until you couldn't take it anymore, and you just went inside of yourself and, okay, what's really going on? And now this person on the outside has kind of owns the problem. It might be another side to you also that's still very like wants to fix it now, don't want to stay inside and think about things, just wants to like get the energy out of your system, and then it will feel better, but someone else will have that energy instead then. So we'll see what's going on here. It's like a little bit of it's like new rules. Something has happened, there's new rules, and it might shift the energy of all your relationships. Yes, and here we have aloneness. So this other energy, this Knight of Wands, might be a Sagittarius or a fire person in your life, or any person that's very intense in the way that they are doing things or creating things. They want quick answers. They want you to respond immediately. They want to have maybe also obedience immediately. And here we have the aloneness, the 9 Hermit. So it's like you are rubbing off on them in a very good way, actually. Even if it's in the reverse, it's kind of a person going more inwardly to find out, okay, what's the problem really here? So when you learn this gift, it's like it's contagious. So even if the person will actually get nosebleed or start to have a panic attack in front of you, this will be the them being stuck between the rock and a hard place that will make them being squeezed out, so they can't really go on with this reactive pattern anymore. They need to look inside. They need to find another solution. The old thing doesn't work anymore. Exactly what happened for you. When you started to become conscious like this, you were also squeezed between a rock and a hard place, maybe by them being so impossible. And now when you have found like the way to do this, the other person will have to go the same way and find that road too. So the old manipulation or the old dynamics between you is kind of off. It doesn't work anymore. And here we have Beyond Illusions. It's still in the reversed, so there's a lot of things that still needs to be revealed, still needs to be learned. And there's a lot of things that you don't see. This is kind of the same situation, looking at the situation from an above perspective. It's just minor arcana, so it's a person doing this maybe. And this is like seeing it from an spiritual point of view. So maybe still people are still entangled in this drama, but there's a bigger picture here to be seen. It's like you're both just threads in a big weave of creation, and when you are changing, all things all over is shifting in the same time. So it's like there's a metamorphosis happening, but as the Beyond Illusion is in the reversed, it might be that because this is the Judgment Day, so it's like the dead rising, and here's the dead is going into their graves instead. So it might be that there will be a gap or some kind of clash between you and this other person. And this might be you as well in this situation, that another person has become much more conscious, and now the old thing that you did doesn't work anymore. They don't get scared by you threatening to end a relationship or whatever is happening here, manipulation of some sort, threatening to be very, very, very angry. Okay, it doesn't help. This person is like a geese now. It's you throw water on them, it will just pour off the water here. Okay, so you see you have the same energy here, and it's a little bit the same energy there, but this with the Beyond Illusion in reverse might make there being a gap between you, because before you had this connection, because you had the drama, and you did this drama dance. Someone made someone else upset, and the upset person was kind of a confirmation to the person that made them upset that I'm loved. They are, I mean something to this person. So this might be the meaning of the drama from overall. So but here we are not getting the confirmation anymore. The old dynamics is off, so relationships might end or have like a pause. And it's 2. Judgment is 20. 2 plus 0 is 2. We also have Justice card here. 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2, 2, 2. So it's definitely some duality, some balance between dualities is shifting, okay, in a very exciting way. And here we have the Master, and it's also in the reverse, so it's talking about you getting more and more close to who you really are. And when you have got to this point that you are here, you're going to be super rock solid, like a Buddha or Dalai Lama or someone like this. That's you can't really have a quarrel with these persons. It's kind of impossible. They won't react to any of your drama. This is when you find yourself, you will also be like this, not like you don't care, but you will be like your soul will be in your body, so you will be bright enough and aware enough to come with the right answer. So actually, by just encountering you, this person will kind of become as enlightened that they can be in this moment. So you are shedding your light, and it's like this burning log, and when it's together with, you place other logs that's not burning close to them, they will start burning too. But the Master is in the reverse, so you're still searching, you're going deeper and deeper inside yourself to find this, your awareness, your consciousness, your source. So you have 1 here, you had, when I shuffled, you have the Ace of Swords, the consciousness, and here you have the Master, so they are all like the singular I, okay, I in I am. Okay, and here consciousness, and it's in the upright position, so it's showing that you are not fully aware just yet, but with this stillness that comes inside of you, when you're actually catching up with yourself, you're becoming conscious. It's like waking up from a dream. You have dreamt this dream of projections. People were stupid. They were acting mean towards you, making you a victim, making you mad, making you revolt against them, and the system needed to be broken down, and all these things. And now you're just like, all these things was happening inside of me. I notice now. Whenever something is like, it starts to come waves inside of me, and then it's happening on the outside. First you get upset, and then you upsetting others, okay, and now you're starting to get conscious, and you just stay with whatever is, and something beautiful is growing inside of you, your beautiful new you, that will be so much more you than you ever have been before, because you're finding new clues to who you are each and every day by just watching inside of you. So it's very beautiful. Yes, if I remember, there is a recording that Moji has made on this I am, that I said it to someone of the other sun signs, but sun, moon, rising signs, okay, but I have forgotten. But for you, I will try to do the courtesy of putting up the video in the description box. I have already forgotten the song, I think. So if you write it in the comment section, I will put it in the description box. So here we have 5, and it's totality. So it's the conflict card, the classical conflict card. You had the temperance card, the 14, the alchemist card when I shuffled, and it's 14, and this is 5, this one. So 5, it's when you meet a person from another that has another point of view. Maybe you are very calm, the other one is very aggressive, like what we're seeing here, and you rub off on each other, okay? This person might actually need to start to put boundaries, and that's a little bit of aggressive, more aggressive than maybe just swallowing whatever the person is screaming at you and saying, okay, I will do better next time. And this person will be contagious, be smitten by this. Your calmness is what we're seeing there. So you rub off on each other and eventually will become like so. First you were this person that was totally like so, and this person was totally like so, but now you're both the same. So this is coming from this conflict, this you don't seeing eye to eye, or you don't have the same worldview, or you just come from, have different wisdoms, different conditioning, different culture, whatever. And it's usually like this, that even in our family we have this totally different way of communicating, for example. So one doesn't understand the other because we communicate from reality that we can see and no one else can see it. So because we live in a little bit of an illusion, so we need to explain for other people our part of the illusion. We need to say that this is how I feel and this is what I expect of you. And we also need to when the person is saying this is how I feel and this is what I expect of you, you need to give feedback and say to see that you really have understood each other. Okay, so what you're saying here is that you are feeling like this and you want me, what you need from me is that I'm doing this. Is this correct? Yes. Okay, so I would love to do that towards you, but if I do, I will start feeling like this because then my emotions will arise and this is how I feel in those situations, and you will back and forth come forward to some kind of conclusion, and it's not always one person winning, because if one person winning is only the other person learning, okay, the person that wins doesn't learn squat, and this other person will learn a lot, okay, by suffering with underneath the boot of this person. So to do the other person a courtesy, boundaries might be needed, okay, to say no, this is where I end and you begin, so this is how far I will stretch, and I won't go any further than this, and I won't let you any further than this. So this is how you do the other person the courtesy to learn something too. Okay, so no split and conflict and aggression, but it's going to lead to something marvelous, as you see in this card. It's this orange color showing that there's not, it's intensity in this moment. It's high, strong feelings. People can be, it's a lot of adrenaline. They are scared. They are worried. But if everyone like really tries to heal the conflict, either by stop trying can be a thing too, because if the other person is just not listening and you say I won't talk with you as long as you're just screaming towards me, that can also help. You need to know yourself to be able to know what to do in a situation like this that's very fired up, because it needs perfect timing also here for you to really get this the lesson out of this and expand your own awareness by meeting the other person halfway and learning from them as well. So, okay. And here we have postponement. So it seems like the other person is getting very disappointed with you since you're not playing this game with them anymore, and therefore they don't want to play at all. Okay, so it might be some silent treatment happening here, and that's usually like a person that gets power from screaming at you or taking advantage of you, or making you upset, or they might not even scream at you. They can just do like not keep their promises and making you very upset. So it can be different ways that people have their drama, so you can't really know. It's a myriad of possibilities here, as many as there are people. I'm just giving you some examples so you can start to recognize this situation in your own life. And usually a person like this that manipulates people either to get their energy by seeing them crying and, oh, see, I made them care, they care about me. If they don't get what they want, they might turn to silent treatment, okay, so you don't care about me, I don't care about you either. And this, you can't control this. This is like, if another person wants to do this, this might be why you have kept yourself in prison for all this time, or try to behave so you wouldn't get their wrath or them turning away from you. Maybe you love this person, and now this is exactly what's happening. You are becoming conscious, they are not really conscious. It might be the other way around as well. Someone is becoming conscious and Scorpio is not. Okay, so recognize yourself. Also, if you're a cross watcher, usually the reading is for the one that watches. So if you are drawn to this reading, probably it might be talking about you and your situation, and not so much about the Scorpio situation at all, more for you to understand your situation. Postponement, and then we have also schizophrenia. So it's the Two of Swords. It's a situation when we kind of drive ourselves mad by trying to stay in the situation, being stuck between the rock and the hard place, because we don't want the consequences that will come from us taking ourselves out of there. For one person, for this person, it might be being stuck between the rock and a hard place might be, I love this person, but I can't be with them because they are manipulating me or behaving very aggressively. What this person needs to do is to be ready to sacrifice this relationship if needed. This is what we saw. This is why your light burned out. This is why death and it was some other card that came also. Death came in the reverse, and I don't remember. Okay, it was another card that had the same meaning. So this is for this person that you might need to. There won't be any dance. The other person doesn't catch you. Okay, you have caught them again and again whenever they fell. But when you fall now and say, "Now this is enough," for the first time you say, this is enough. And they don't catch you in the way that you caught them, okay? So this is your hard rock and the hard place, and you might just need to accept, okay, so we don't have a relationship if I'm not the codependent one, if I'm not the one fixing everything and following their every whim and trying to walk on eggshells to not draw forward their temper. And this other person, and the temper might not be like this intense aggression. It might be, as what I told you, some covert thing going on where a person is like pressing your butts, like different buttons without, not butts, buttons to make you dramatic. I think about an example that's also from my work, where we had people sitting in one office and other people sitting in another office, and one person went from this office to this office down there, and it's starting to ring in the phones, and the person down here said to this person walking through their office, can't you please take that, with a little bit like voice that's telling that they were above this other person. Okay, and this person that walked through was so shocked by this request, because it was obviously rude, because this person was sitting by their phone, but they were coming in here in peace, and this person wasn't coming in peace. They were trying to make the other person subordinate. Okay, I will win over you. I will take advantage of you. I will see to making you my bitch. Okay, so this person was set on being nice, and just went and answered the phone, and went and take through the call and dealing with the call and everything, and afterwards they were obsessing about this and why did I take that phone call? I must be stupid. But we can see that this person wanted to be nice, and they were conditioned to be nice and set on being nice and not fully aware. If they would have walked through the office fully aware, they would have said, is there a problem for you to pick up the phone? And maybe this person would have said, yes, I was just about to text my mother. She's ill on the hospital, apparently. So all of this might have been a projection, okay, from both of these people's side as well. It might have been that the other person wanted to take like advantage over this person, but it might as well be this person that have perceived it all wrong. And if we are not aware, we will miss out, and we will just be confused, and we will obsess about this situation maybe for the rest of our lives, if that's what I'm seeing here. Okay, postponement is when, well, I could have said this, but what I really said was this, and not really living in awareness, and therefore living in a life you don't want to live. But this is a person choosing this a little bit deliberately because they are angry with you for not dealing with this drama, being in the drama. The 2 cards for silent treatment here, and it's 2 against 2, 2, 2. We have justice here. That's also 2. So it's 2 people dealing with some kind of drama, and one needs to stop the drama by taking the consequences that comes from stopping the drama, and that is free falling. If they would let go of this and just, okay, so if we are not 2 in this relationship, I can't help you. Okay, tell me when we are 2 again, when we can cooperate again and work this out, but I am not the one working it out for you all the time. So you might need to accept being ghosted, for example, like a person just disappearing from the face of the earth because you didn't do whatever they wanted, or they don't say hello to you in the hallway anymore. Okay, things like this, different things like this. Okay, so here you have the future, and it's participation, 4 wands in the reversed. You can't really participate in like being friends with everyone, like this person going through this office wanted to be friends with everyone, couldn't do this because they weren't really friends with themselves. They really didn't love themselves enough. A person that would have loved themselves enough would maybe have asked this question or another question, instead of just reacting and getting like a little bit sad and then picking up the phone. You need to start to love yourself first. You need to align with yourself first. When you do this, you will find yourself. You will find your own I, okay, and your own consciousness, and you will get like a hotline back to God or Goddess, and a hotline back to your higher self and your soul. So it's well worth it, even if you need to sacrifice your best friend or your forever love or whatever. If it's really yours, they will come back to you, okay? And at least when you are dying, people will... I had another beautiful encounter with my grandmother was dying, and she was scared, and I told her, you don't have to be scared because our soul is forever, and when you die you will meet your husband again. And she said, oh God, I don't want to meet my husband. It has been a big relief for me being alone these years since he died, but I really would like to meet my parents again. But later on, my mother got really sick, and she had this epiphany, and she saw both her parents together with my father's parents sitting all on their porch and playing cards, and they my grandmother said, say hello to your daughter from me. So she was kind of giving me confirmation that, okay, they were best friends on the other side. It's very beautiful. Okay, so this is what I see here. You might have to sacrifice a person that's really means something to you because you can't stand being with them anymore. It's like being squeezed here, not just hanging, but being squeezed, and you can't let them squeeze you anymore. You can't let their power games rule over you anymore. Next card is isolation, and it comes in the reverse. So this is, it's like you have postponed here a certain feeling that you didn't want to feel. 2 of Swords, 3 of Swords, 4 of Swords. You didn't want to feel sadness, you didn't want to feel sorrow, so you have tried to make this person happy or make this situation balanced so it would be able to go on, so you didn't have to sacrifice it or lose it or end it. And here you do. You just you start to align with the inner like self-love, and what you find there is a lot of pain to begin with. So you open the door to this pain. So the reason to why people could bully you or push you around was because you had this pain and you didn't want to really recognize it. Like this person walking through the office feeling pain immediately when this question was asked, and should maybe have said, well, that was kind of rude. You're sitting at your phone, why can't you answer? and that would have been releasing her own pain and not freezing it down below zero at all. This is a person that have all their hurts just taking it. Okay, now it's a lot of pain stored there. So what's needed is maybe to start to have your own panic attacks, okay, to release this, to start the tsunami, like start the melting things. Tears will start the melting thing here. So have a little bit of a nervous breakdown could be a good thing to come closer to self-love. Let yourself fall to pieces, okay, so you can pick up all these things that have been frozen. All this water was messages from the divine, from your higher self, from your soul to you, and you just know, I don't want to hear it. It will mess with my relationships, so I'm freezing it down. And now you will, it's like this mail that comes in a bottle through the sea like this, and it's a lot of them here, and they are freezed in like an iceberg, and you need to unfreeze them by feeling the pain of it all, and maybe like lying in fetal position crying on the floor because this was what you wanted to avoid. You didn't want to make this person mad or stop loving you or ghost you or whatever is going on here. But it's in the reverse, so it's telling you that this will be your freedom, okay? You're walking on the pathway to a real freedom and not a conditioned non-freedom where you lived walking on eggshells, okay? And here we have this card that we have been talking about all along, the projection card, 7 of Cups. It's when we meet a person, we don't really see them. We can often see this, that we are attracted to people that looks like our mother or acts like our father, or have like a little sprinkle of our sister and a little dust of our brother. And yes, because we are seeing something familiar in this other person, and we think, oh, that's familiar, that person I feel attracted to, and we fall in love with them, and then we can deal with all this intense drama that has been going on since kind of we were born, so we can finally solve it, okay, finally. So this is what you need to get aware of, that this drama is actually making you a little bit, it can make you a little bit like being on drugs. It's giving you a high with feeling the drama and being victimized and the same old, because this is how love feels for you. This is how you have been conditioned to feel love. And love and hate, it's kind of the same vibration. Also sadness sometimes and love can be the same vibration. If you really learn to look at your feelings and be with them, you will see this. And also great love can bring tears and like the same ache in your heart that you will have if someone died. So it's kind of the same thing. It's just in our world we are breaking it up into pieces like this. It's an expression for the same thing. Love, for example, love, if we lose someone, we feel the love more intense because we might not ever meet this person again. And it's kind of a homage to the love that we feel. We feel it's so much more intense when the possibility of ever meeting this person again is lost. It hits us, like this love hits us so hard that we fall crying on the floor. And here we kind of we are afraid of those emotions. We don't want to feel them, and in the same time we are compelled. It's like we have a magic spell over us to seek them out. The same kind of pains with the same kind of people, just different names, same shit, different name. Okay, and you're meeting these people and they are triggering you in the same way until you solve it. And how you solve this conflict is exactly how you have been doing this right now. You just don't engage yourself anymore. You just don't let this situation kidnap you anymore, because you wanted your parents so bad to love you, so you did everything in your power to make yourself being loved. And it might be like different ways. You might have been this side too, being like really loud and screaming and having a lot of demands, being like crying for everything and screaming for everything, and by that getting your parents' attention. Or you might have been like the more compromising child, trying to make the parent love you by being very acting very good and trying to like fill their every need so they would love you. But nothing of this made you actually loved. It just made you into a slave for love. Okay, and now you are taking yourself out of this because you're starting to see it, and you're starting to I want you to start to really get to know this person in front of you. Ask them more questions, and also see from their non-answers or from their actual actions what they are really up to, and write it down, because it might be really hard for you to get to this attention and conscious level that you need to. It will take some work, okay? Next card here is the dream. So the dream is still, you want this person to come back to you and to start love you again, and they probably want you to do the same. So the longing for each other is still there, even if this relationship or the situation is in chaos. And it's kind of indicated that you need to have patience also here to let this thing play out in the way that it wants to be played out. And the next card is the Lovers. So if you actually do this and don't sell yourself off this time, or if you are this aggressive person, instead of silent treatment, you might want to tell the other person, make a leap of faith and trust them, because this is what I'm seeing here, that this person might take a leap of faith and trust that, well, they gave me love all this time. And now when I have, because this being in this silent treatment has probably made them aware that they misses you. So that can make them also take the leap of faith of trusting you. Here, you see, leap of faith, trust, and try to have the conflict with you instead. Okay, I got really mad, and I know I didn't call for 2 weeks, but this is how I felt. So this is a gift. This is something maybe they haven't been able to do their whole life, expressing what they really feel inside, because they have had a hold on people by manipulating them in different ways to feel bad, so they do things for them. So it's a kind of kidnapped love, okay? And this side has been in this kidnapped love situation and just wanted to be loved, like just be nice and I will do anything. So this dynamics is no one's fault. No one is the bad guy here, even if I say stupid people and so on. It's just how we view others, because we don't know that we are the same person. It's just different parts of of us. So now when you started to put some boundaries, this person needs to look at themselves. Instead of all the emotions coming out here on this end, this person needs to take care of their own emotions. They can't make the other person upset and let them deal with your emotions. Okay. So, ordinariness. It seems like there will come to some kind of compromise, that you will work it out when this person for the first time ever rather sacrifice the relationship than themselves. They are no more sacrificing yourself here. Okay, so it's long reading, but I guess you needed it. So if you're still with me, I will read the Five of Wands card for you, the center card of this reading. That's the central energy of your reading. These three women are high in the air, playful and free, yet alert and independent. In a trapeze act, nobody can afford to be a little absent, even for a split second. And it's this quality of total attentiveness to the moment at hand that is represented here. We may feel there are too many things to do at once and get bogged down in trying to do a bit here, a bit there, instead of taking one task at a time and getting on with it. Or perhaps we think our task is boring because we've forgotten that it's not what you do, but how you do it that matters. Developing the knack of being total in responding to whatever comes as it comes is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. Taking one step through life at a time, giving each step your complete attention and energy, can bring a wondrous new vitality and creativity to all that you do. Every moment there is the possibility to be total. Whatsoever you are doing, being absorbed in, is so utterly that the mind thinks nothing. It's just there. It's just presence. More and more totality will be coming, and the taste of totality will make you more and more capable of being total. try to see when you're not total. Those are the moments which have to be dropped slowly, slowly. When you're not total, whenever you are in the head, thinking, brooding, calculating, cunning, clever, you're not total. Slowly, slowly slip out of those moments. It is just an old habit. Habits die hard, but they die certainly if one persists, they die. So it's about to just be aware and see when you are, you will feel when you're thinking things that's not really aligned, when you are thinking, I was so stupid, or why did I say this, or how could they do this towards me? And you just look at the feeling that you have and get a great, beautiful, beautiful, compassionate understanding for yourself. Of course I said yes. I wanted to be good. Of course I was stupid. This is all that I know. Or of course I wanted this person to love me, but I can't really control them. And it's not personal. I can't really take this on me that this person doesn't love me. I have tried everything. I have tried everything to make them love me, and it didn't work. So acceptance also. So I will take a card for you from the Wild Kuan Yin Oracle for my dear Scorpio. So ancestral guardians of light. So it's this also dimension. Another dimension is that this what you are doing is not all you. It's like your cellular memories. You have been trained to think and feel and do in this way for thousands of years. So when you're healing now yourself, you're also healing your ancestors, and they are helping to healing you as well. My love for you is so vast, and as you learn to recognize it, you shall see me reaching for you in every person, every encounter, every circumstance, every event in your life. You have come to this place at my request to be a bearer of light and a way shower for others. And because you honor me in taking human form, so too shall I honor you. Look within your heart, and there you shall find me. We travel together always. There is no need for you to feel alone. Soul travel in groups, reincarnating again and again to grow and evolve together. These are the people with whom we feel unwavering and profound connection, irrespective of whether or not we are connected biologically. Sometimes even when we have not met them in person. Sometimes the connection feels nourishing and constructive, at other times deeply challenging. It's like being very, very sad because someone is gone, for example, or they didn't love you. What matters most is that you are willing to grow by honoring your truth and accepting the opportunities for personal development that are presented to you. This may mean holding a higher truth in your heart to help show those in fear another way. That could be breaking away from destructive belief system in your family or culture, or helping to defend and uphold tradition that are a healing for the soul. You are being honored as a leader in your own right, helping bring a more loving, less fearful consciousness to those with whom you are connected. Don't be afraid to lead others through your own example. You are contributing something positive to the world, and this is a natural talent of yours at a spiritual level, part of your divine destiny to be lived. Although sometimes you may feel alone when you are ahead of the curve, you are actually a part of a powerful spiritual team, and the Divine Mother is always with you. So very beautiful, and kind of also talk to the little anecdote that I gave you about my own ancestors. So I have told you this many times, Scorpio, that you are here, you are transformation, you are a front runner, you are the latest update from the divine in your generation. So you need to honor this, and also know that you can't always be understood, because if you come with the latest update, no one else will know. So they will think that you are crazy because no one else has seen what you've seen. And it's not until like the 100 monkeys have seen the same thing you do that it will be a truth. Before that, it will be a lie. So everyone will tell you that you're living a lie, but you don't. You're just ahead of time. So it might mean that you are coming with a new way of working, a new school system, a new way of loving other people, a new way of healing people, a new way of whatever. And it's a little bit revolutionary, and it can be hard on people sometimes, and it can be hard on you as well to be this bearer of this newness. So take really good care of yourself and have the best and most utter understanding for yourself and compassion for yourself during this time. You are on a very, very positive road, so I'm not worried about you at all, but I think the compassion towards yourself is the key here. Okay, take care, and I welcome you back to my May reading that I will perform in mid-April. Okay, bye-bye.